And welcome back. Today, I actually, as you can see, not doing a travel video, or I'm not actually exploring, but I did get back from Cabo and wanted to do a don't things you shouldn't do when you're in Cabo, or things you shouldn't do when you're out in Mexico. Actually, probably good tips that you should know about. So yeah, if you're brand new to the channel, consider subscribing. I always got a lot of like cool things here, and stay tuned to the next video. As you guys see, I'm posting every Wednesday and Saturday. Going to Europe, so check it out. The first thing is, don't swim on the Pacific side of Cabo San Lucas. When you guys go out there, the current is extremely rough, and just from going on some of the boats, you can see how the currents are now. There is some names in Spanish. One called the honeymoon, which is like nice and calm and chill, and then the other side's called the divorce, where it's like very rough and crazy. And they were saying, the tour guides were saying, like, don't swim on the other side because sometimes it could be very, very dangerous. The other thing is, don't purchase pharmaceuticals without a prescription. I read a couple articles and some vlogs that if you do get caught, well, you can get arrested if you get caught there. Now, I don't know if it's going to be if you get caught within Mexico or if you get caught within the States, you can get in trouble. But just keep that in mind. I know a lot of people here, especially in California, they go and they just get it while they're in TJ and just bring it over. It's really illegal. So say no to party favors. Number 3 here is just say no to party favors. It might seem like it's good, like too good to be true on certain things. Just no. If it's too good, just no. Now the other thing is, don't take unnecessary risk. If you're in the touristy areas, if you are on well lit places, you should be okay for the most part. Some people do like to venture a little bit out. I would say if you don't know the area, ask people. Most of the people there are pretty safe. I did have my 360 camera walking around the marina, and I did have some people eyeballing it like, what the heck is that? So I made sure I was in a crowd. I made sure I was good. I was always watching my surroundings. So just don't take unnecessary risks, especially if you don't need to. Just don't do it. Don't forget sun protection, sunblock, stuff like that. There is a different level of sun when you're out there. So depending on where you're from, the closer to the equator, the closer you are to the sun, the faster, easier you could burn, and it will turn you into a lobster easily. I saw so many people at the resort just turning bright red within an hour. It's crazy. For me, I don't really burn as easily, but I was feeling like I was getting burned. So I did put some sunscreen lotion on, even if it's a thin layer. Something is better than nothing. The next thing is, don't get help from the guys inside the airport. You're gonna notice and I wish I had some video on this. You're gonna notice when you go through the airport, it's like a gauntlet of people trying to say like, oh, I work for the resort, come here. They're gonna try to tell you like, do this and do this. You want to go there, you want to go here, check this out, we have a better deal. No. The best thing to do is, once you get past through that first area where they're going to try to sell you, easiest thing is just say no politely and just keep walking through, saying like, oh no, I got somebody waiting for me over here, and just keep walking, and they're gonna get you. Once you get past through everything, you should be able to find the actual people that do work for the resorts, or do book for stuff. Which kind of leads me on to the next thing is, don't take a taxi from the airport. It's going to be about $80, or some people will say like 1,400 pesos, which is like, oh, that doesn't seem much. Well, it's about $80. It's about $18, 18 pesos per dollar. I just round up 20 pesos per dollar, give or take, tips and stuff like that. But be very careful. Do not take a taxi. You could always haggle with some of the shuttle people that are there too. It might cost you a lot cheaper to take a shuttle. But the taxis there, for me, what I did was I actually booked through like Viator. I'll leave that information in the description below. Also, Expedia is a great one. You could book a shuttle service that will pick you up from the airport and take you all the way to your hotel. I had like for 5 of us that got 6 of us that got picked up and didn't pay that much money. So keep that in mind. Um, Also, don't waste your money in renting a car. You're probably going to be like in the resort or you're going to be somewhere close to the marina. If you are, so for me, I did stay at the Rio, which was a little bit further away from the marina. I did take an Uber and they do have taxis. The taxis there in town don't cost that much. It's very cheap. The only reason why I would rent a car is if you're driving to like La Paz, which is a little bit further. Um, and I would only rent the car just for like the day or whatever I'm actually going to be using it, but I wouldn't rent it for the entire stay there. It can get pricey, and insurance is actually really pricey, and I definitely don't want to risk getting broken into, scratch or whatever, and then I pay for the car pretty much. The next thing is avoid shopping when the cruise ships are in port. Your hotels will know when the cruise ships will dock, but one thing that I noticed, and I was actually really surprised, is when you go to the marina shopping, everything is super expensive for some reason. I'm just like, why is it so expensive? Like normally some of the stuff is a lot cheaper. If you go into town a little bit, it's going to be a hell of a lot cheaper. But if you're at the marina and there's some cruise ships coming in, or they know there's cruise ships coming in, they hike up the prices. I didn't know that until later. And when I was asking them about a couple things, I'm just like, why is it so expensive? Kind of interesting. So yeah, keep that in mind. Next thing is you don't have to eat at the marina. There's other options that are going to be a little bit better if you go outside of the marina. And just for a short little distance, it's not even that far of a walk, you can get some pretty good deals. Now, because you are there, and again, if there's cruise ships, they might charge a little bit more. If there's no cruise ships, you're going to charge a little bit less. But keep your options open. Don't just say like, I'm going to eat at the marina all the time and that's it. There's options everywhere. Also, if you want to get a picture of the bay, just take it. Take a picture. Don't wait till the ships leave. Sometimes they're going to be there for a couple days, and sometimes you missed your shot. You missed a good picture, and you're just like, man, I should have just taken it when I was there. So if you're there in the moment, be in the moment. Take pictures of whatever moment that you're in. My next thing is don't text and walk in Cabo. Sometimes when you get distracted, there's going to be pickpocketers, people trying to tell you like, hey, there's deals over here, deals over here. You spent thousands of dollars or hundreds of dollars over there at the resort when you could have paid it cheaper here. And they try to like sell you on a little bit more. And sometimes they might say like, hey, do you know English? Yeah, it's ways for them to come and try to, if they could pickpocket you, or if they could get you in some kind of scam or you think it's a great deal and then you're buying something that you don't want. So just be very careful. The next thing is don't drink water in town. Bring water bottles. Even in the resorts, most of the time they do have filters and stuff like that, but they will look if they have signs that says the tap water is not filtered. Just be careful. Also, when you're in town, be sure that they do filter the water. I would even ask like with their ice and stuff like that to make sure it is filtered, so that way you don't get a stomach ache and then your trip is ruined. The other thing is don't exchange money before arriving in Mexico. Sometimes when you get money in Mexico, the exchange rate is going to be very, very low. So yeah, keep that in mind. The next thing is don't ask the roaming musicians that you see to serenade you. You'd be like, oh, sing me the song, or somebody coming in with a bunny or with a lizard, and you're like, I want to take a picture with the iguana. If you do take pictures with the iguana or rabbit or whatever they have, or if you have musicians coming and sing at your table, you got to tip them. You have to tip them. You don't want to have any issues when they are offering a service, even though you think like, hey, this is great and fun, I'm just taking a simple picture. I'm not having them take a picture. You're still asking for a service by having them borrow their pet, whatever it is, or having them sing a song. Just have a couple pesos and you should be good to go. Sometimes they might not even give you a fee. They might give you a fee afterwards, so just be prepared. A couple pesos, you should be good to go. The other thing is don't bring your own booze. I've known people to bring their own booze while they go there. There's going to be so much booze out there. But if you have to have your favorite whatever alcohol it is, make sure you wrap it properly in your luggage and your suitcase, because yeah, when your things get thrown around and they're chucking things back and forth, they're not being careful with your stuff. So make sure you have a package. The most important thing, have fun when you're in Cabo. Honestly, you're on vacation. It's going to be a great time out there. I wish I would have done this video while I was out in Cabo to show you guys, but I do have some clips here that you're able to enjoy at least throughout the video to see how it looks like. And I'm telling you, it's a lot of fun. And if you are careful, then you should be okay and have a great time. Yeah, if there's any other tips that you recommend, a couple don'ts that you think that people should know while you're in Cabo San Lucas, please write them in the comment section below. Help each other out. This is the best way for us to communicate with each other and knowing safety tips when you guys are out there in your travels in Mexico. Yeah, with all that being said, I hope you guys appreciate this content. Please consider subscribing because I got a lot more videos coming for you guys. You guys take care of each other. See you guys in the next one.